we've done here, I got this from Paul Vunak and I've done some modifications on my own as he endorses for people to do. But it's the lock flow. You'll find locks in every single art, so it doesn't really matter if we break them down. Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido, Kempo Karate, they all have some form of locks. But the difference is, when you're in a street fight situation, you should never be looking for a lock. If this guy's a 6'4", 350-pound linebacker pissed off at me, I'm not going, where's that wrist lock, where's that arm bar? No, I should be thinking about headbutts, knees, elbows, straight blasting. But there is a time and a place where that lock becomes incidental if not accidental, and it just has its place to appear. And so it's good to know them. It's good to be able to insert them. What if he's my best friend, he's had a little bit too much to drink, and he's got his hands on me, and he won't let go no matter what I say, get off me, dude. But do I want to bust him in the face? Do I want to kick him in the balls? No. Okay? But I might just want to get him off me and get him in a position where he's going to listen to what I say, or I can just direct him to go somewhere else. So what I'd like to do is just kind of go over how we put the locks together to make them a little bit easier to understand and give you a better insight as to the body and how it reacts. The first lock we're going to use is just a simple basic wrist lock. What I like to think of is in Jiu-Jitsu, or I use most of my locks from my background in Judo Jiu-Jitsu, but I like to create a circle of force to continue it. So if I'm going to take his wrist, I'm going to push his finger, I'm going to push down, but at the same time I'm pulling up. So it's a push-pull series, and the main goal here, and this doesn't matter if he's got his hands on my neck, or if he's got his hands on my arm, or his hands on my shoulder, it's just a starting point for now. So I'm going to get to the back of his hand. I like to do what's called a dove grip. It looks a little silly, but it'll help you remember where to place your fingers and thumbs on the back of his hand. And I like to get my fingers into the meat of his palm here. And so I push and I dig in, and at the same time I'm going to push here and pull here, creating a circle. You'll know when you have this right, and when you're starting out doing these on people, something that has to be felt. It's hard to do off a video, but be very careful with someone's wrist. And just push a little bit, and you want to get this desired response as the knee right there. Hey, let's do a little dance. As soon as he's popping his knee up and down there, I know I've got that part right. Okay, this is lock one. All of these locks could be taken into a complete finishing move here. Okay, but for the purposes of the flow, we're just going to stay right here. So when I get my desired response as his knee bend, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, the second lock, I'm going to come across here, kind of like I call it a cowboy grip, like I'm grabbing a gun, and I'm going to grab his arm here, and I'm going to come up underneath him here. This is my point underneath the elbow, about a ½ inch to an inch back at the most. I'm going to pull up here as I push down here. This gives me the ability to walk him where I want. So I can walk him into this wall. I can tell him to bang his head. Okay, and if he's a shorter person, like when Scott does this to me, we changed it to what we call a lumberjack, where he just puts it up here on my shoulder and gives him the angle and the leverage that he needs. This is just used to quickly move someone real quick before I insert something else on him here. And it helps you transition from the first lock to the second lock. So once again, I'm going 1, cowboy grip, under the elbow, 2. Start with those 2, we'll come back here, and then we'll do 3 and 4.